Once upon a time, the kings had the castles, and the poor old peasants were lucky if they had a hut to call their own. How things have changed. These days, the great Australian dream isn't a mere cottage on a quarter-acre block. It's bigger, much bigger. Just look at the statistics. In the last 20 years, the average house size has increased by 40%. That means the old family home is out. Huge McMansions are in. 5 bedrooms and more, with everything that opens and shuts. And what's more, they're being snapped up by average, everyday Aussies. But as Peter Harvey found, one family's suburban dream can be another's nightmare.
Another piece of the great Australian dream crumbles into dust. A perfectly good 3-bedroom house, a family home that in its day had everything anyone ever needed.
The old place was good. It had 3 bedrooms, lounge room, dining room, kitchen, toilets, and a nice patio out the back.
This was the house Alan built more than half a century ago. Today, in less than half an hour, 86 Lamonnery Street, Toongabbie is a pile of rubble. Replacing it at twice the size will be this. The Hayman, 2 stories with 4 bedrooms, a study, 3 bathrooms and something the builders call a great room. Alan will move back in and share the new digs with daughter and son-in-law. His wife is now in a nursing home. Understandably, it's a day of mixed emotion.
I'm a bit emotional. But I'm quite happy, quite pleased with it. And I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in.
It's always been the great Australian dream, owning your own home, a roof over your head, and a backyard as big as you could possibly get. Today, that once-upon-a-time pretty simple dream has turned into something more like a fantastic flight of fancy. And why not? Well, good morning. What a terrific entranceway. I feel like I'm about to be knighted or something coming up here.
Sir Peter.
Hi.
Peter.
Mortgage
Alex.
broker Alex Hubbard, wife Patricia, 3 young children and pussycat Rastus live in this house in Sydney's Hills district. It's huge. Not only do the kids get their own bedroom, they've each got their own ensuite. And there's a billiard room and a gymnasium. And as Kath and Kim would say, there's also the good room.
I guess it's a feature part of the home, but we get to use it probably once or twice a year, special occasions, Christmas. Sat on the chairs the other day and it was great. First time in 2 years, but certainly an essential part of the home.
So how many squares are we here?
This is 75 squares.
So this is about almost 3 times your average home, right?
Yeah,
And what would you go to? 4 times, 5 times?
Oh, maybe 100 squares. It's probably a nice round number. Yeah.
It seems the only thing bigger than these houses is the mountain of debt we owe on them. $718 billion. Our houses might be twice the size, but according to the Reserve Bank, since 1992 the average new loan has also doubled. But none of these home truths are getting in the way of the boom. Is this a big house by your estimation now?
No, this is today's market's pretty average. That's what people are asking for, that's what they want, and yeah.
People are looking for big.
People love big. At the end of the day, big is beautiful.
For builder Sam Cassis, size matters. When he started out 15 years ago, he never planned to build these suburban giants, but now he builds them and the customers come. They know what they want.
Now they're expecting 5 bedrooms at least. They're expecting the home theatre. Most definitely the 4-car garage. I remember it used to be just a double garage and then it moved up to triple and now all of a sudden everybody wants 4.
And an ensuite with every bedroom.
Every bedroom, yeah.
And it's not just new homes in new suburbs, it's new homes in old suburbs driving the boom. Not to put too fine a point on it, we're a nation of knockers. Down, that is. But we're also rebuilders.
There's nothing like living in a brand new home.
It's living right next door to one that can be the problem. I mean, anybody could see this is a pretty nice area, but tell me, what is it about it that you like so much?
Well, if you just look above you now and you see this beautiful tree and the breeze is blowing and we're in the shade, it's just beautiful.
Now, it's as though we're coming into a different world here, isn't it? All of a sudden, the trees go, the old houses go, and what have we got?
Well, we've got a concrete jungle. It's like a desert of roofs.
You could call them old-fashioned, but really Jean Posen and Dinah Warner are just concerned.
I've just been going through all my folder on awful houses.
These two unlikely vigilantes have been diligently taking photographs of their Ku-ring-gai neighbourhood, keeping a visual record of the leafy suburb that once was.
Look at this place, this wonderful staircase. Where did they think? Did they think they were in Gone with the Wind or something? All 5 bedrooms have their own private balconies and bathrooms, pool with waterfall. Well, is that a house or is it a resort?
Hello?
Oh, hi. Let's call it the White House. Yes. A private home with resort written all over it. It's very stylish and it's very big. But for Roak Bayazri, it's merely a rung on the ladder. So, I mean, tell me the truth. Is this your dream home, or have you got something else in mind?
My dream home is a little bit bigger for my husband.
And these are the plans for some of it?
Yeah,
with everything that opens and shuts, including not 1, but 2 kitchens.
Kitchen
and a special frying room.
Special for messy cooking.
Right.
I'd like to add a cool room, cigar bar, snooker room for the kids.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies. Don't fence me in.
I'm still getting my head around what's happened to the Australian home. This is where I grew up, in this block of flats, in a tiny 2-bedroom unit. My mother, myself, my aunt, a cousin, my grandmother, and a lodger. All of us together.
Don't fence me in.
From Bondi, back out into the new world, where things are very different.
But it's very in your face, isn't it? Very kind of look at me, lots of kind of attention getting.
Elizabeth Farrelly keeps an expert eye on architecture and urban style. She's far from happy with homes that use almost every inch of the block, elbow to elbow and going on forever. And sometimes it seems that all the life and living takes place inside all those walls.
The more confusing and difficult and frightening modern life gets and the outside world seems to feel to people, the more they want to withdraw, you know, and into their castle. That whole castle thing comes into
We're going back into the cave.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, taking up the drawbridge, and everyone just wants to kind of get home, shut the door and watch TV, and it feels safe.
Even the dictionary now calls them McMansions. In the last decade, 60% of new homes have been like this. And there's one more very significant reason why we're building such big houses.
It's about, I've got the money, I've got the right, I can do it, so I'm going to.
Of course, that ain't necessarily so.
I don't do it to show off. We just do it because we can, we've worked hard, we're not ashamed of being successful, and our kids have a good lifestyle.
Fair enough. In Melbourne, mobile phone magnate crazy John Ilhan and wife Patricia live in a stunning house that, at first glance, seems to fill half the Port Phillip Bay shoreline. Some conservative critics have called it ostentatious. They call it home.
My brief to the architects originally was, I want you to build a spectacular home, a home that is a monument to John's success. It's a credit to him, that in a way it's a reminder to all of us of how hard he's worked and where he's come from and the fact that he started from nothing.
But this new Australian homescape is not just the domain of the very well-to-do. Far from it, in fact. Hi.
G'day, Peter. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Welcome
Yourself?
to our house.
Concreter Len Byers paved a lot of roads to get here. Now in their 60s, he and wife Dawn are having the time of their hard-working lives.
You dial up what you want. If you want lights, we've got a night mood, an outdoor mood, a vacation mood.
Len and Dawn epitomise the seismic shift in the Australian suburban landscape. Their 4 children were brought up, happy enough, in this comfortable brick veneer house in Western Sydney.
Everyone did it in those days.
It's true. That's right.
They all lived the same.
Yeah, that's very true.
1 bathroom,
4 kids, and you manage. You do what you have to do in life, don't you?
Now with an empty nest, they're living in a house built by Frank Vallone. It's 3 times the size of the old place.
I was quite overwhelmed with it for the first few days I was here. I just couldn't believe that this was mine after all this time.
Of course, it's simply not possible to do a story about big homes in Australia without coming here to the Gold Coast, specifically to Sovereign Island, where every one of these homes is built for a king, or a queen, or a cab driver.
We had some local cabs on the coast here. That was our first business together.
So you didn't inherit a heap of money?
No, just hard work.
And all that hard work's led to this, Baltimore. By the time ex-cabbie Chris and Michelle finish, it'll have 9 bathrooms, 7 bedrooms, and a fridge in every walk-in wardrobe. It does get hot up here.
Our first home was 12 squares.
Yes.
And how big's this one, Michelle?
260. So we've come a fair way.
The Gold Coast has redefined an awful lot in the way Australians live. Up here, for instance, big is low on the scale of sizes. Things only get serious at gigantic. But don't give up hope. People who are watching this, I mean, people out there who are cab drivers and hairdressers and reporters like myself, what do you say to them? I mean, can people aspire to this sort of lifestyle?
Certainly.
Yes, I think so. I think you just have to be prepared to have a go.
So, how much is this worth? What are we talking about?
16.5, hopefully. So
16.5 what?
Million. So
good, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not just money that's made this possible. Building technology has changed too. Builders such as Andrew and Melanie Stott can and will do anything you can pay for.
We can build bigger homes now. We can build homes that don't have beams. We can have entire expanses that we never used to have. We can have ceiling heights that are 2 and 3 times the height that they were 20, 30 years ago.
Whatever happened to the house with the dunny down the backyard?
I think we're just doing better than we ever have before. It doesn't mean that we don't love our families any less. It just means that we're more successful as a country, and many of us are not afraid to show it.
I wonder if there really is any end to all of this, or will it just go on forever? Nothing seems likely to stop it, not dearer mortgages, not loan foreclosures, and certainly not agony over the environment.
To have houses like this, which essentially requires air conditioning. There's no eave, no shade, so it's just going to go on polluting the air by needing to be air conditioned. It's madness.
I can't see how it's having an impact on the environment at all, apart from trees and things like that you have to get rid of to build the big houses. But like I always say, people always are in love with the tree next door.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies. Don't fence me in.
There's nothing that makes me happier than to see the children play in the spa, come out of the spa, go and have a hit of tennis on the tennis court, go and watch a movie in the theatre. Nothing beats that. I'm sure I speak on behalf of any mother, you know, to see their children have such a good...
See, mate, happy wife, happy life.
Well, mate, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. So there you have it, the great Australian dreamers. They've worked hard for it, in most cases very hard for it, and now they've got it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everybody's dream is different, and it's a pretty nice state of affairs when there's room for everybody's dream. It all depends on your point of view and where you've come from.
Papa, don't you fence me in.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.